Heavy is the head that wears the crown. My chain and I are back to talk about how I think Andrew Holness and the Jamaica Labour Party are responding in the wake of Hurricane Melissa. And I want to do that with respect to global disaster standards set by the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction and the Sendai Agreement, which is a global agreement set up by the UN to guide how countries should respond to and prevent disasters. These global disaster organizations think that Jamaica responded very strong, which is around preparedness and early warning. So the government did a good job of communicating the need for evacuation, preparing shelters, making sure that people all over the island knew the risk and had adequate time to prepare for the hurricane. When it came to continuity in the healthcare system, these global organizations rated Jamaica as mixed. So while there were some health facilities, hospitals, essential service facilities still able to respond after the hurricane, a lot of infrastructural damage certainly hampered their ability to respond and to respond quickly. Their partnership with international donor organizations and really being able to get the global community to come in and help quickly was also something that the Jamaican government was able to do and do well. Now, where the government really scored low was when we talk about economic and infrastructural resilience. We have lost approximately 30% of our gross domestic product after Melissa. That just means we've pretty much lost 30% of the country's annual income in damages. This really speaks to how vulnerable Jamaica's pre-Melissa infrastructure was. Our buildings, our roads, our telecommunication lines, power, all those things were not resilient enough, were not strong enough to endure and survive a Category 5 hurricane. But hearing all of that though, how much of that is really the Prime Minister and his cabinet's fault? Or is it more a consequence of how Jamaica is just built from an infrastructural perspective? The island of Dominica lost 226% of its GDP with Hurricane Maria. The Bahamas lost 25% of its GDP with Hurricane Dorian. So Jamaica really losing 30% of its GDP with Hurricane Melissa is really well within the Caribbean vulnerability pattern. Our infrastructure just tends to be concentrated along the coastline. We tend to be, as islands, less diversified in terms of our output and our production. And so our ability to recover is just going to be naturally more challenged. So I don't think it really makes sense for us as a people to be trying to blame the government or the Prime Minister entirely. I do think that just the infrastructure of the country, the way our homes have historically been built, how our emergency facilities have naturally been built, and all these things were in large part a contributor to the mixed pace at which the government has been able to respond. My heart really bleeds for the people who are living it, who are still waiting for light and water, and some people who are rebuilding from scratch. All I'm saying is, how do we move from blame to building, even just 9 days after Hurricane Melissa? I would love to hear what you think about this government's performance in response to the hurricane.